Started having these dreams of flying. I was free. Sooner or later, though, you always have to wake up.
James Cameron's Avatar has become an iconic science fiction film ever since its 2009 debut. But its esteem extends much further than the beautiful state-of-the-art CGI environment and fictional world. Avatar is set on the distant moon Pandora, on which the U.S. Resource Development Agency has set up a remote mining outpost to exploit the rare mineral unobtainium. However, the Resource Development Agency inhabits the alien moon to accumulate this rare mineral at the expense of the Na'vi, an indigenous sentient race that is culturally and physically intertwined with Ewa, a maternal guiding spirit that lives within all of Pandora's life forms and keeps the planet in natural equilibrium. Jake Sully, the protagonist, takes on the form of one of the Na'vi through the RDA-developed Avatar program in an effort to reach diplomatic solutions. The conflict of the movie rises, however, when the greed of the RDA brings destruction to the Na'vi, Pandora, and Ewa. Through a depiction of clashing settings, intents, and identities, Avatar demonstrates that the outbreak of violence is a direct result of human greed and interference in the natural processes of life. As humans spread, their greed and consequently their destruction infects the environment that surrounds them. The setting of Pandora is revealed through Jake's excursions into the mysterious forest where the Na'vi reside. Up until that point, the audience is only familiar with the dreary human settlements of Pandora, which is essentially set up as an army camp. As the movie progresses, we see that the setting becomes an integral aspect of the film, highlighting the juxtaposition between the Na'vi forest and the human territory. The Na'vi forest is filled with vibrant colors, and once Jake becomes familiar with this world, has a certain fragileness to it. The human settlement, on the other hand, is seen as a sophisticated landfill of metallic parts. The advanced machinery directly contrasts with the almost simplistic natural beauty of Pandora's forests, where the Na'vi reside. The forests of Pandora function on symbiosis. Each species lives with and depends on every other, and the beings of Pandora, Na'vi included, live with respect of the world. The Na'vi goddess herself, Ewa, symbolizes the interconnectedness of every being shown in the nature of the planet. The humans, on the other hand, are a parasite invading this balanced ecosystem. Their camps are harsh, dull, and dangerous in appearance and behavior. The metallic tones and sounds of these scenes, paralleled with the destruction of the natural symbiosis of the ecosystem, portray the humans as a virus infecting the health of Pandora. As in every human invasion, the invaders seek something they do not have. They do not merely attack indiscriminately, but do so for personal gain. In Avatar, we see that the main reason behind that humans invading Pandora is their desire for the highly valuable mineral unobtainium. As this desire grows, most of the humans start dehumanizing the Na'vi to justify their actions. Until this point, we are uncertain of the degree of conflict between the humans and the Na'vi, but the commander's summation of the Na'vi clearly highlights the RDA's ignorance towards Pandora and the Na'vi, which fuels the already unstable atmosphere. The gross mischaracterization of the Na'vi eventually leads to the devastating war that brings about numerous casualties on both fronts. The plague of human selfishness once again contributes to the near destruction of a species, as has happened many times over the course of human history. Only this time, humans crossed the boundaries of their own world and infected Pandora with this destructive affliction. Here we're able to see that humans are merely the hosts of the parasite that bring about the grand disruption on the planet of Pandora. As can be seen, humans as a whole are depicted as the epitome of evil in Avatar. Human greed is shown to be so powerful and destructive that even many of the Na'vi children are not spared from the attack on the indigenous inhabitants. The one redeeming factor for humans is the emergence of Jake as a defector from the human race. Even in the beginning of the film, when we are not familiar with the deep hostility between the humans and the Na'vi, we see that Jake Sully is one of the only humans inhabiting Pandora to see the Na'vi as sentient beings deserving to be left alone. Even the prime antagonist, the commander, realizes Jake's feelings towards the Na'vi. Jake is able to overcome his greed by transitioning into the world of the Na'vi and living as one of the natural inhabitants. Even when offered a chance to walk again in his human form, Jake decides to side with the Na'vi, defecting against his own race. It is likely that this defection was due to the imposter syndrome that Jake was battling during his time in Pandora in his human form. Numerous times throughout the film, Jake questions himself, going so far as to saying that it was his brother who was supposed to be in Pandora, and not him. Jake does not have a true purpose in helping the RDA, since it is evident that they only see him as a cheap replacement of his twin brother. In his time with the Na'vi, Jake is able to discover his true calling, which is saving those closest to him. Avatar's plot can be reduced down to a simple narrative in which two conflicting sides ultimately produce a defector, who develops some attachment to the opposing side and eventually seeks to institute peace through fighting for the side that was once his enemy. This archetypal plot is common in many narratives, but perhaps most evident and culturally significant in its presence in Pocahontas, a film that is mirrored in nearly every way by Avatar, from the colonialism to the romantic subplot. But the defection plot is also demonstrated in films such as Ice Age or even Shrek. Time and time again, an infectious enemy sweeps across an environment and threatens the status quo, the natural order, or the moral good, and a member of that plague defects to fight for what is right. Avatar has received great criticism for its similarity to stories like these, and has been accused of stealing from others. But in reality, Avatar is simply retelling an age-old plot in a new format. So as can be seen through both the movie and the similar examples that were addressed, the never-ending cycle of human greed leads to destruction not only within our communities, but also to other communities not typically inhabited by humans. Human interferences in the natural process of life brings about dangerous consequences, even when such instances do not involve outright evil intents. In Avatar specifically, we see that there is no victor in the war between the humans and the Na'vi. Both sides suffer great losses, but the ultimate loss is the destruction of Pandora, which is instigated by the humans themselves. What we can learn from this is that hate breeds hate, and hate inevitably brings the ultimate destruction.